Now another thing, another memory is that somebody, I forgot who it was, told me when my grandmother died, the person said, she has gone to the silent woods. And the first person in my life that went to those silent woods was my mother. Now her name was Elmina Conner Oakley. And if you trace her back on my mother's side, she goes all the way back to the Ogles, the ones that first settled down in White Oak Flats. And she had just a little bit of touch of an Indian in her too, and she passed that on to me. I had not missed my mother at first, because I was just a young boy, 8 years old. I didn't pay much attention to what was going on around me. And but one day I started realizing, where is my mama? She had left, and she'd been gone for 2-3 days, and I was just pondering, where's my mama? Well, my daddy must have noticed that I was looking a little down in the dumps. He said, Wiley, have a seat. He said, now, Wiley, I hate to tell you, but your mama has died. She has passed on. Some of my other relatives were telling me the same thing. Yes, Wiley, your mama has died. She is under the sod and dew. And I was thinking, what a thing to tell a young boy like me. And I just did not understand what was going on with that. And I'd go to my friends' houses, some of the boys I knowed, and I noticed that their mamas, they were taking real good care of them. And they was getting them clean clothes to get ready to go to church on Sunday and getting them all ready for the Sabbath day. And I was thinking, why it is that I can't have a mama that cares for me and loves me like that? So I didn't talk about it with anybody because it was sort of private for me. And then one day my daddy come in and he said, bad news. Your Aunt Patsy Husky, she has died. And you know her, if there's any woman that's going to go straight to heaven, it's Aunt Patsy. Well, I ran outside right away. I climbed up the mountain and I looked way over yonder where Aunt Patsy's cabin was, because I wanted to see Aunt Patsy go straight to heaven. And I looked at the cabin, I looked up in the clouds, and I never did see Aunt Patsy going up into the sky there. I was so disappointed. And I figured, well, I guess it was that the time that it took me to climb that mountain, look, that Aunt Patsy had already gone straight into heaven. So I was pondering all of these things about dying and all. And I remembered that thought about gone to the silent woods. And I thought, maybe my mama's just lost. That must be what it is. There's plenty of mountains. There's plenty of wild woods around here. A person, anybody could get lost in them woods. I'll bet my mama's lost. I need to go find her. But I didn't discuss it with anybody. I was just waiting for my chance to go. And finally, one day, my daddy loaded up that jolt wagon and he was off to Knoxville to the market. So that gave me my chance. So I headed off into the woods and I started looking around for my lost mother. I looked here and I looked there and never did see anybody, and decided I'd go over by the cliffs, over the cliff dwellers. And a lot of the Cherokee, they like to go over there. And I looked around in the soft earth to see if I could see a lady's footprint down there, but I never could. No footprints. I did see a man's footprint, and that was unusual, but not a lady's footprint. Well, I kept looking and I said, well, I think I'll go a little bit higher than where I am right now. So I started climbing up the hills, up the mountains, and I'd get to the top of a ridge and I'd look, and oh my gosh, there's another ridge beyond that, and another beyond that. There was just peak after peak after peak. Now at that time, I didn't know the names of any of those. Later on, I knowed every one of them because I'd been on them, I'd walked on them, I'd roamed through them. But at that time, I didn't know that I had been looking at the Smoky Mountains. The Smoky Mountains. Well, I looked for a while more and I finally gave up. Could not find my lost mother. And I was sad about it, and I was disappointed about it. And I was thinking, well, I did lose my mother. She's lost to me forever, and nothing will ever fill that place in my life. But I found something else. I found for myself the Smoky Mountains. I sort of discovered them for me. And after that, the Smoky Mountains was my closest companions the rest of my life. So that's a little bit about going to the silent woods. Not a very happy topic, is it? We need something a bit lighter. Let me tell you. Oh, I'll tell you about a bear that amused me one time. I was at the Chimneys Campground. You probably all know where that is, the Chimneys Campground. I don't know if you know this, but I was the foreman of the CCC boys that actually built that campground. And there was this bear there. It was a great big old male bear. And I figured that that bear just was not real smart, wasn't educated at all. He was trying to push his way into the ladies' restroom. I guess he couldn't read. That's what it was. And another time, same campground, different time, I saw 2.5 bears. Can you believe that? 2.5 bears? Yeah, there's this 2 bears, and they stand around this garbage can, and sticking out of it was 2 legs, a half a bear. So 2.5 bears. Mm-hmm. True story. True story. Fun is fun, ain't it? So maybe we need to do something about joking and all. Do any of you ever pull jokes on people? You ever pull pranks?